Welcome back to the SMT YouTube channel. Shared with me was this article written by Adam over at zdnet.com. And I read through the whole thing and I looked at the data and it was pretty interesting. The Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T networks at the Chicago Wrigley Stadium, he had 3 Google Pixel 10 Pros, right? So he kept it, the same across the board. And he tested all 3 networks at, I believe, like 10 locations. And it was pretty solid testing. He did a nice job. He tested each phone at each location, and then even did some like file downloading or uploading, besides just the speed test. But what I did was I took his data and I made my own definitions to them. He did something at the bottom of the report, single digits, double digits, triple digits, stuff like that, which is cool. That's fine. I think more meaningful is a couple of things. Number 1, were there any failed tests? Number 2, were you able to do anything with the connection, right? So those file moves are probably important too, besides just the speed test. Speed, obviously, a proxy of available capacity, so it's meaningful, but the other things are important too. Anyways, here's his findings according to his testing. AT&T had, in my definition, 4 excellent test performances, 2 good ones, 3 not good ones, and 1 bad one. What I mean by this, an excellent test would be 100 plus megabit download speed and then 10 plus megabit upload. A good test would be between like 50 and 100 megabits download and then 10 or more on the uplink. The reason why those are excellent and good is because that offers enough speed for anything you would have to do. Plus, if there all of a sudden was a big surge in usage at that particular location. Now, for the not good tests, and the reason I chose not good, under 50 megabits for downlink, and then under 10 megabits for uplink. If you get that extra usage, that big surge, it's possible that all that capacity would get used up, and you likely would see, usage problems getting kicked off the network, stuff like that. And then bad, that's like either like, single digits, doesn't load, doesn't complete, that sort of thing, a bad test, okay? So like, sub 10 megabits, a failed test, doesn't work, doesn't, function or anything. So that's how I did that. So AT&T, 4 excellent, 2 good, 3 not good, and 1 bad. T-Mobile had 5 excellent, no good tests, had 3 not good tests, and 2 bad ones. And then Verizon had 8 excellent tests, 1 good one, 1 not good one, but no bad tests. And there were 2 locations where I think he was connecting to mmWave for Verizon, and I think 1 location for AT&T having mmWave. Number of failed download tests, 1 for AT&T, 2 for T-Mobile, none for Verizon. All right, so if I run this as a tally, having the most excellent data points was Verizon, having the most good data points was AT&T, having the most not good data points was T-Mobile, and having the most bad data points was T-Mobile. And then to kind of take this one step further, the fastest file times, it seemed to me when he ran, I think it was 3 file times. T-Mobile had 2 of the fastest file times. AT&T had 1 of the fastest file times. Of note, I think Verizon was within like 2 seconds of Verizon on one of the tests. And I think they were like 50 seconds ahead of Verizon on the second one. But anyways, T-Mobile has the MLB partnership. I have no idea why they decided they were going to be bad at Wrigley after mmWave technology has been available since 2019 or something. They clearly have not taken the deployment of mmWave at this location seriously. Maybe they do have some DAS support here. Maybe they do have a small cell in the parking lot or on the outside. Or maybe they've really densified in the surrounding area off roof macros. That's possible, but it's obviously not enough to get that many failed download tests while I don't think the other ones had any. Did anybody? Oh, AT&T had 1. Verizon was the most excellent carrier in its testing, and that doesn't surprise me very often because they very typically are a very good venue network operator. And at this point, I think people know, when you go to a game, your carrier of choice sometimes can impact whether or not you can share files, upload, download, stream, stuff like that at these events. And I just, maybe it does lead to someone making a decision about their provider of choice. I don't think T-Mobile's bad in Chicago. In fact, I think they're really good in Chicago. I think this is venue specific. But for Wrigley Stadium to not be hooked up by this point, that's kind of crazy considering T-Mobile has the MLB contract, sponsorship, and it's been years since they've been able to do any type of millimeter wave. I don't know. I know there's, like I said, IDAS, ODAS, all these different systems. I was kind of surprised to see T-Mobile with that many bad data points. They had either qualifying as not good or bad 5 times and 2 failed tests. So they clearly have some work they could do at Wrigley, and it's probably not a good look seeing about the MLB partnership. Anyways, check out the article from Adam. It's over at ZDNet. I'll link it. And, be sure to drop me some comments. Let me know what you guys think about this. Like, share, subscribe. Check out some more videos. See you guys soon on the next one.